Right now, you're living in a reality, one you're fully aware of. But here's the fascinating part. There are infinite versions of your life unfolding right alongside this one. Picture it. Just beyond your current perception, there are endless possibilities. Every choice, every moment, every decision, there's another reality waiting for you to experience. And in those realities, you're living entirely different stories. But here's the kicker. Most of us get stuck in loops. We keep going through the same cycles of disappointment, where it feels like nothing ever changes. Even when we wish for something bigger or more meaningful, we often find ourselves stuck in the same routine. We catch ourselves thinking, why can't I break free from this? Or, why does it feel like I'm trapped in the same old patterns? But here's the thing. It's not fate or some cosmic force keeping you stuck. It's not about karma or destiny either. What holds you back is something much subtler, something within yourself. Your mind, your body, your emotions, they're all locked into the same frequency, the same state of being. That's the real reason you haven't stepped into the version of yourself who's already living a completely different life. Let's talk about the truth here. You can't just wish your way out of this. You can't simply hope that wanting something bad enough will make it appear. And this idea that you can fake it until you make it and trick the universe into giving you what you want, it doesn't work, at least not in the way you think. The real shift comes from something deeper. It's not about doing more or making surface-level changes. It's about becoming a completely new version of yourself. You need to align with that new version of you so fully that your entire reality shifts. Let me break it down for you. Many people think manifestation is about wishing for something so hard that it magically happens. They believe that if they just want something enough, whether it's love, success, or abundance, the universe will hand it to them. But here's the deal. Wanting something doesn't make it happen. In fact, in the quantum realm, the universe doesn't care how badly you want something. It doesn't respond to your craving. It responds to the frequency of your energy. Even if you think you're doing everything right, writing affirmations, creating vision boards, visualizing your dream life, there's still a chance you'll find yourself stuck. Why? Because while your conscious mind might be saying, I want success, I want love, I want abundance, deep down, your subconscious and your nervous system are still locked in patterns that keep you trapped in the same reality. So, while you're out there declaring what you want, your body, your energy, and your subconscious mind are sending completely different signals. Your system is conditioned to feel comfortable with what it already knows, even if that's limiting. So, even though you might want something new, your unconscious mind remains stuck in fear, doubt, and scarcity. This is why, no matter how many times you declare your desires, if your energy doesn't match what you want, the universe won't reflect it. Instead, it'll mirror what's familiar to you. Here's the now. Let's dive into something pretty mind-blowing. According to quantum physics, every possibility already exists at the quantum level. Every version of your life, every potential outcome, every possible future, it's already out there. All you need to do is tune in to the version of yourself who's already living the life you want. You're not creating something from scratch. You're stepping into a reality that already exists. This is where quantum breakthroughs happen. Every possibility you've ever imagined is already out there, just waiting for you to connect with it. That's why breaking free from the cycle isn't about starting from scratch. It's about tuning into the right frequency, aligning with the right version of yourself, and stepping into that reality. This idea isn't new, though. Ancient civilizations understood these principles on a deep level. Take Nikola Tesla's famous quote, "If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have the key to the universe." These numbers might seem random, but they represent universal patterns tied to the frequencies that shape reality itself. Civilizations like the Egyptians, the Greeks, and many indigenous cultures had an innate understanding of these universal frequencies. The Egyptians, for example, designed the pyramids with specific ratios that produced unique frequencies. The Greeks uncovered the golden ratio, which appears in nature, from the petals of flowers to the spirals of galaxies. These ancient cultures weren't dabbling in superstition. They were working with quantum principles long before modern science had the language to explain it. And now, guess what? Modern science is finally catching up. We've discovered that when monks meditate deeply, their brain waves shift into specific frequencies, like theta and gamma waves. These aren't random electrical patterns. They're coherent signals that influence not just the brain, but the electromagnetic field around us. When your brain taps into these frequencies, it's not just a mystical experience. It's a real, tangible shift in your energy. When you align with these sacred frequencies, whether through meditation, mindfulness, or surrounding yourself with symbols like sacred geometry, your energy starts to resonate with the universe. It's like tuning a radio to the exact frequency of the reality you want to experience. So, here's the question. If manifestation isn't about how badly you want something, what's it really about? The real question is, who do you need to become in order to align with the version of reality where what you want already exists? That's the secret to quantum manifestation. Becoming isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about embodying the person who already lives the life you desire. You're not faking it. You're stepping into the energy of your future self. And when you do that, the universe has no choice but to reflect that back to you. This is the core of the quantum shift. Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds amazing, but how do I start? How do I align my energy with the version of me who's already living the life I want? It's easy to get excited about transformation, but the real work happens in how you embody those changes. It all starts with a shift in how you see yourself. Most people approach manifestation as a doing process. They make lists, set goals, and take action, thinking that if they work hard enough, something will change. But that's where the misunderstanding lies. True quantum shifts don't happen from the outside in. They come from within. And it starts by being the version of yourself who is already living that life. The first thing to understand is this. The universe isn't responding to your desires. It's responding to your energy. It's not about the goals you set or the actions you take. Those things are important, but secondary. What matters is the vibration you're sending out into the field. And if your energy isn't aligned with your desired reality, no matter what actions you take, your life will remain the same. This is exactly why so many people feel stuck. They try to manifest their dreams from a place of fear, doubt, or scarcity, and when they operate from this kind of energy, the universe has no choice but to reflect that back to them. It's like trying to tune a radio to the station you want, but staying stuck on the wrong frequency. Here's the thing to keep in mind. The field doesn't respond to your thoughts alone. It responds to the emotions and energy you're putting out. This is why real manifestation isn't about thinking your way into success. It's about aligning your entire being, your thoughts, emotions, actions, and energy, with the version of yourself who's already living the life you desire. Let's break this down with an example. Imagine you're trying to manifest abundance. You could say all the right things, affirming wealth, success, and abundance. But deep down, if you still feel scarcity, fear, or doubt about money, that's the frequency you're broadcasting. The universe won't respond to your desire for abundance because your energy is not in harmony with it. What you need to do is become that abundant person now. Feel abundant, think abundantly, and act as if you already have what you desire. When you align your energy with the version of yourself who's already living in abundance, the universe starts to mirror that back to you. That's why it's not about doing more. It's about being more. But how do you actually start embodying that energy? The first step is becoming aware of the limiting beliefs, fears, and patterns that are keeping you stuck in your current reality. You have to realize that your inner world is being reflected in your outer world. If your external reality isn't matching what you want, it's time to examine the beliefs and emotions that are driving your current experiences. Most of these patterns are unconscious. They're stories you've been telling yourself for years. Stories like, "I'm not good enough," "Things are always too hard," or "I don't deserve to have what I want." The key to shifting your energy is recognizing these old stories and choosing to rewrite them. Once you become aware of these old patterns, the next step is to let them go. I'm not saying it's easy. It takes time and consistent practice. But the moment you start to recognize those patterns, you can begin to release them. This is where the real work happens. Not in wishing for a better reality, but in doing the inner work to create space for a new reality to emerge. Another way to start shifting your energy is through practices like mindfulness and meditation. These techniques help you slow down and create space between your thoughts and your reactions. When you practice mindfulness, you begin to notice when old patterns of fear, doubt, or negativity creep in. The key is to catch yourself in the moment, choose a new response, and realign your energy with your desired reality. At first, it might feel difficult, especially if you've been living in these old patterns for a long time. But the more you practice, the easier it becomes to shift your energy and align with the version of yourself who already has what you want. As you practice, you'll start to notice that your outer world begins to shift too. Synchronicities, new opportunities, and the right people will start showing up in your life because now you're vibrating at the frequency of your future self. Let's talk about something equally important in this transformation process: trust. This is where many people get stuck. You can do all the inner work, make all the shifts, but if you don't trust that your new reality is on its way, you're still sending out signals of doubt. Trust is a huge part of manifestation. You must trust that the universe is aligning with your energy and that what you want is already on its way. But trust doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. Trust doesn't mean you should be passive. It means letting go of the need to control the outcome and surrendering to the process. It's about trusting that your desires are already in motion, even when you can't yet see the evidence. When you trust the process, you can stay aligned with the frequency of your desired reality, even if things haven't changed yet in the physical world. A powerful way to practice trust is by embracing embodiment. Embodiment isn't just about repeating affirmations or thinking happy thoughts. It's about living as the person who already has the life you want. It's about thinking, acting, and feeling like your future self right now, even before you see the physical evidence of your new reality. For example, If you want to manifest more love in your life, start by embodying love and worthiness right now. You don't need a partner to feel loved. You can start by loving yourself, by being open to love in all its forms and radiating that love to those around you. When you do this, you begin to attract the kind of love and connection that reflects your own energy. Similarly, if you want to attract abundance, start by acting as though abundance is already flowing to you. Spend money confidently, knowing more will come. Feel gratitude for the resources you already have, even if it's not the exact amount you want just yet. This is how you align with the energy of abundance. Remember, this isn't about pretending. It's about truly embodying the energy of the reality you're creating. When you do this, you'll notice that the universe starts to respond in kind. The world begins to rearrange itself to meet you where you are, and before long, you'll be living the reality you once only dreamed of. Now, let's discuss how to sustain this transformation. Here's the thing. Manifestation isn't a one-time event. It's a practice. It's something you need to commit to every single day, just like learning a new skill. The more consistently you align with your future self, the faster your new reality will manifest. But here's where many people trip up. They try manifestation once, see a few small shifts, and when things don't change as fast as they expect, they fall back into their old patterns. But the key to long-lasting change isn't in the first few shifts. It's in staying aligned no matter what's happening around you. One of the biggest hurdles in manifestation is patience. The universe doesn't work on your timeline. You might want things to happen now, but the truth is that the universe has its own timing. It's not about when you want something, it's about when the energy is aligned for it to manifest. And here's the catch. If you get frustrated, impatient, or doubtful, that energy will only slow things down. The trick is to stay in trust, even when you don't see the results yet. Think of manifestation like planting a seed. When you plant a seed, it doesn't immediately sprout the moment it hits the soil. It needs time to grow, to root itself, and to become something tangible. The same goes for your manifestations. You've planted the seed of your new reality, and now it needs time to unfold. The key is to stay in trust and keep nurturing it, knowing it's already in the process of growing. So, how do you stay aligned when the physical world isn't reflecting your desires yet? One of the most powerful tools you can use is gratitude. I know you've probably heard about this a lot, but it's one of the most effective ways to maintain your vibration. Gratitude helps you stay in the energy of abundance, no matter what your current circumstances are. When you feel grateful for the little things, you're telling the universe that you have more than enough, and in turn, it will bring you more. But here's the twist. Most people practice gratitude conditionally. They think, I'll be grateful once I have more money, or I'll be grateful when I find my soulmate. The real power of gratitude comes from practicing it right now. Be grateful for what you have in this moment, and also express gratitude for the things that are already on their way to you, even if you can't see them yet. Gratitude is like a magnet. The more you express it, the more the universe will bring you things to be grateful for. And when you're grateful for what you already have, you're automatically aligning your energy with abundance, which is the frequency you want to attract more of. Another key to sustaining your transformation is celebrating your small wins. Manifestation isn't just about the big breakthroughs. It's about recognizing and celebrating the little shifts, the tiny victories, and the signs that the universe is responding to your energy. Maybe you'll get a small sign or synchronicity, or perhaps you'll notice a shift in your mindset or behavior. These are all signs that you're on the right track, and they help you stay aligned. When you notice these small wins, take a moment to appreciate them. Celebrate yourself for the progress you've made. The more you acknowledge your growth, the more momentum you build, and that momentum will carry you forward into the reality you're creating. On the flip side, if you're not seeing shifts, it's a signal to check in with your energy. Have you slipped back into old patterns of doubt, fear, or scarcity? It's completely normal to fall off track from time to time, but the key is to notice it, realign, and get back on course. Every time you realign with your future self, you're strengthening the new reality you're creating. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Consistency is what creates lasting change. It's the small, consistent actions that build up over time to create the life you want. Even on days when it feels like nothing is shifting, keep showing up, stay aligned, and trust the process. Here's an important point to keep in mind. The universe is always reflecting your energy. If you're aligned with your future self, it's only a matter of time before your reality begins to match. But if you're not aligned, the universe will continue to reflect your past experiences. This is why people get stuck in repetitive cycles. They're still vibrating at the frequency of their old reality. Until they shift that frequency, they'll continue seeing the same patterns. So, how do you make sure you're aligned with your new reality? The first step is to stay aware of your energy at all times. What are you thinking? How are you feeling? Are you reacting from old patterns, or are you responding from the energy of your future self? The more aware you become of your thoughts, feelings, and actions, the easier it will be to choose a new response. This awareness is key to staying aligned with your desired reality. Mindfulness practices, like meditation or conscious breathing, are powerful tools for staying connected to your higher self and the energy you want to embody. When you create space between your thoughts and your reactions, you allow yourself to choose new ways of being. And when you consistently choose alignment, your reality begins to shift. Let's talk about one last powerful tool for staying in alignment. Trust in the timing. The universe doesn't operate on your timeline, it works in divine timing, which often means things will manifest when the energy is right, not necessarily when you think it should. The key is to stay patient, continue doing the inner work, and trust that your manifestations are already on their way. And here's something beautiful to remember. The moment you start living in alignment with your future self, the universe begins to respond faster. Things will start happening quickly, and you'll begin to notice synchronicities and opportunities that you didn't see before. When your energy aligns, the world around you rearranges itself to match your vibration. So, how do you make all of this stick? It's simple. Keep showing up. Stay aligned with your energy. Trust the process. And don't get discouraged if things take time. The more you practice, the more you'll see your reality shifting. And when you finally start living in the reality you've been creating, you'll look back and realize that everything you've ever wanted was always within your reach. You just had to align with it. Manifestation isn't a one-time event. It's a lifelong practice. When you consistently align with the energy of your future self, you're able to step into the version of reality where all of your dreams are already true. The possibilities are endless, and it all starts with you.